Okay, this video is going to be just how some of the steps and how we went into making these handles, how we made these escutcheon plates, how I made this little plate with the staple for the hasp. It was a lot of fun making these, but I am not a professional. So if you really want a how-to in how to make stuff like this, I highly recommend DF in the Shop's video on making a basic trunk handle, just because he is a pro and he can tell you how to make these the right way. So it is February 15th, and I'm trying to cut out these escutcheon plates for the handles, and this is sort of like a quick design I had for them. I don't know if it's gonna look good. I'm just gonna cut them out. This is 14 gauge sheet metal. I splurged and bought myself a strip of it. Yeah, I'm gonna use it for escutcheon plates for the handles. So I'm just gonna cut this out with an angle grinder. So there they are. Just did the relief cuts with the wheel too, and I'll just chisel out the rest. Escutcheon plate number 1. I actually need to get... That's pretty slick. Once again, DF in the Shop teaches me stuff. I love that guy. So, that actually went really quickly, and they are not what I would call precisely symmetrical, or matched, you know. But you know what? They're going to be on opposite sides of the chest, so it's pretty much impossible for anyone to actually compare them visually, so don't care. And yeah, so now we got to file them kind of cleany. It's totally soggy today. There's water flowing through the shed. Let me just, yeah, there's just water every place. What do you think? Me too. So, I'm pretty happy with that. I think... So now it's gotta... I gotta pick a side. And then... you know... I'm gonna try and do like some forge... Not hammer texture, but like... forge texture. I watched this video the other day. This guy was taking like stock H hinges and like hitting them with a plumber's propane torch and then bashing them with a ball peen hammer to make them look hand forged. What a disaster. this, I like this. All right, been making some progress on the finishing the hardware. I did the heart with the staple to engage the hasp, and I was at my local blacksmithing club yesterday actually, and I was working on doing the handles for these escutcheon plates. And I made this handle while I was there, but I decided that it was too large for this escutcheon plate. I was making it from, gosh, what is this stuff? I think it's 5/16, and it was just a little bit. I was just using too big of a piece, and I also decided that I'm not crazy about leaving the round stock. So what I ended up doing, I came home and I took a piece of 3/16 and made it this is an 8-inch piece of 3/16, which is what I used for this, and ended up coming in just about exactly how I wanted it to be. So I think I'm going to go with that. I hope there's not too much wind noise that we're getting. That it's a little bit of a windy day, and then we got rain hitting the roof, so it might be a little bit noisy. Sorry about the audio. So I'm going to forge this, and then I'm going to work on forging the little staples. And I'm just going to use 20 penny nails that I cut the heads off as the stock for the staples, because I don't have like little tiny bar stock this size. So yeah, nails. I used a 20 penny nail. I've got it marked at 1.5 inches from both ends. So I'm just gonna draw out those ends down to like a little smaller at the tip than 1/4 inch, and then we'll bend them over, and then we'll, bend the ring on the anvil. Okay, I'm happy with that. Do the other side. Okay. So that's given us a double-ended piece. And it's gone from 8 inches and now it's approximately 9 1/4. So we gained 1 1/4 inches. Ah! What do you think? Okay, so I kind of don't have any more footage of the forging and making of these, but after I had the staples peened on, it's basically a process of feeding in one side, and then you have to bend right here, and you can kind of see this mark where I had to bend it over, and then you bend it over and feed it through, and then you flatten the handle back out. And if you really like, I highly recommend DF in the Shop's video once again on how you make handles like this, because he does that whole thing in one heat, and I cannot tell you how long it took me. And one of the reasons I don't have footage of it is because I was farting around with for like 20 minutes to get these handles to go through. It is not as easy as he makes it look. And part of the problem is, you can see here the way was my layout. So if you want to like have less trouble than I did, I would say very, very carefully lay out where the holes go for these staples, and make sure that you have plenty of clearance inside the staples for the size of your trunk handle, so that they will feed through and you can slide them around efficiently. And that's going to help you out a lot. I think I had way more trouble because I was a little sloppy in my layout, especially on this one. You can see it's kind of cocked, and this one was actually really narrow. And so when I first put this thing through, I had a heck of a time, you got to have a little bit of play so you can feed this through. And this one probably took me 6 heats, and I would say this one took me maybe 4 before I got it through. This one I'm more happy with. And then in the process, you can see I lost some of my symmetricality, and this one will bend up just about to 90 degrees. This one will go a little bit further. But so they are obviously not symmetrical. You can see obviously they're not identical, but like I said before, I don't really care. They're going to be on opposite sides of the chests, and for the first time I've made some of these, it's just, I'm really happy with how all of the hardware on this project has turned out, and this was super educational. Had a great time working on stuff at the blacksmithing club, even though I didn't end up using any of the stuff I forged there on these handles, but like, I got a lot of practice and some ideas. I got some great ideas for other styles of fixtures. So another way you could do this is kind of to do like a cotter pin style, to where you just have a single hole in your escutcheon plate, and then you kind of forge like a single cotter pin, and then so you would attach that to your handle and then drive it through the hole into the wall of your box, and then you just peen over the 2 pieces of the pin, if that makes sense. I'm gonna try another one on a similar box, I think, down the road sometime. But for right now, I'm just fantastically happy with how these turned out, and I hope this video was useful for some people, even though I am obviously an extreme newbie at forging, and I don't have, the obvious, all the footage and all the steps. But I hope it was useful, and thanks for watching.